in front of one of the slower guys and got clobbered.
Does Jamie win Cup race?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if he's in this one.
One about him?
Yeah, they both race V8s. Yeah, they're all in the V8 still.
Okay.
I don't know how many of them are actually.
It's the coach, and this is Madden.
I mean, Van Gisberg and Lowndes and Win Cup are on the same team.
We've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh my God, someone's last name is Dalai Lama. That's hilarious.
As we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports.
Grove, and Barker.
Tonight we move on to week 2 of the preseason, and we've got a good matchup here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He's still racing. Look at that. Good for him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time.
If I can break
it's the Mississippi
Dak
State
Prescott
product at quarterback calling the shots
Bro.
will be Dak Prescott.
When he came out of college, I thought
Otherwise,
his best
their
attribute
offense
was being
like
able to break the pocket and make plays in the open field. But watching him develop over the years, you see a guy who can stand in the pocket and deliver excellent throws into tight windows.
They go play
oh
action
shit, it's
here
a
on
play
first
action
down.
anyway. No.
And they work this well upfield across the
Nothing.
45. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
It was a free agent.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot.
Ooh, there's a big wreck.
They'll get just a yard
Portion
on
of
the
the wall.
scramble. It's second down.
Head first.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a
Drama.
great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
That's the second time I tried to play that. How that play has just gonna go ahead and take that one out of the old playbook.
Oh, I got that. I saw the whole. Oh, he got pushed out wide. And he got in dirty stuff.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Alright, right there, yeah. He got out in the dirty stuff, now he's in the grass. Now he can hit the outside wall and shoot across the inside.
Huge debate around the league. Gerald McCoy or Ndamukong Suh?
Oh, there's a guy sneaking on the inside of it too.
They both had more than their share of moments.
That could have been
and what's made Gerald McCoy a perennial Pro Bowl player, his ability to play just about anywhere on the defensive line, but especially to work over the centers and guards in order to create havoc in the pocket.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
Who the fuck is this?
He's got a man wide open, complete.
White dudes have Downing. So they got rid of Schweitzer, so now they have Downing, apparently.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Nice
Cowboys
job
going
keeping
right down
that
the
opening
field, just
drive
like
alive,
last year.
and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert
Their
on 3rd
line
down.
is
They
too
did.
good, you just never get any
For
pressure.
them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, I feel like it's a lot tougher to run those routes.
You're lucky they're not booing you.
Right now, take your shot at the end zone early in the down and
I
distance.
hope they don't expect us to win games.
I hate that expectation. Gallup, Downing,
one year
Hearns is still alive.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
It's Allen.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd
He's
and
got to
7.
give me at least 2 years to get rid of some of these big ass
Especially in the second
contracts.
half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the
and then he
second
just
half as
spun
some of
off
these
and
shorter
hit
games
6 in
turn
my
into bigger
360.
runs later.
And he's out of bounds.
There
Almost
they
gets to
go,
the
right down the
10.
field.
A good pickup
64
there,
yards so far. I'm
26
drive number 1.
yards. Just the
looking
first
good,
quarter
boys.
of tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
He said 3 wide. You come out in 4 wide. You lie,
early in the
computer.
game and they don't get him on the ground. you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days.
Oh, somebody guessed. David guessed on the pass.
As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game.
Drew Brees number 2.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they
Chess
had in their
Master
pocket? No
is
matter what, they had
the
the
guy
right
leading
call
the race
on
right
against
now.
the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
In the BMW.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB,
I have too many wide receivers and too many tight ends. Can't get the ball to him now.
But when you hit him on a move like that, he's able to get into
but this year, unlike previous years, because when you turn no custom playbooks off, it got rid of all the good ones, like the run and shoot and stuff, so you can only use current playbooks.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones.
Which is fine. I mean, I can run a West Coast run.
Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis.
Yeah, 4 wide all the
They
time.
tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Lost to McCorkle. He got some help. No. We're both in the NFC. NFC title game. He had 79 passing yards against him.
Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play.
He didn't start running with him until the game was on the line. Once it was fourth quarter, then he started doing it. And it was just impossible because even with a spy on, he runs away. Because he had like 95 speed and all my linebackers had 80.
Could be 4 down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third.
A rookie that Rasmussen.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's his first.
He got hurt half the year, but
15 and a first down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a
he got.
on the
he got some help because defense or whatever. He had his middle linebacker picked off a screen pass.
They'll look to throw here. Over the middle,
and that gave him like a short field.
And they'll get this down to the 10.
That was his first touchdown of the game. I was already up to 17-0 or something, and that just allowed him back in the game. And I settled for one more field goal and let him do the rest.
Gotten the ball
That
down
was
the
enough
field,
to
gained nice chunks of yardage.
enough
But
to beat
now,
us.
in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner.
That's why he won
so
the
if he's
title.
going to throw the
Computer
football,
in the
that
Super
be
Bowl.
pinpoint here.
So he was able to run his slants and all that stuff
Has to be sharper, but it's
Yeah,
been a good
nobody's
opening
right
drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it
Talking
in the end
to
zone.
Brett
They'll get
and
5 out of the scramble.
Johnny.
It's second down.
right,
How
Hill.
about that play? He took a possible negative
No,
and turned it into
Rams
positive
in the
yardage
NFC West.
and slid down to
he
avoid
missed the
taking a
playoffs.
big shot. Excellent
That's,
job
Hill.
getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Raiders.
And the ball
Brett.
smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's
And
second
Gooden.
and goal.
And Gooden didn't play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown.
There you go, left kick, Kirk.
Hey, Ford's first touchdown as a Buck.
5-yard touchdown. And the
It's like they were
Buccaneers are an
just
extra point
making
away
names
from
for
tying
players,
up
and
this
somebody
football
fell asleep and
game.
just kept hitting the same.
And the QB rating right now, sky high, 4 for 4 on that opening
There's been
drive,
some really
and it
good
ends with a
names. There was a couple in
touchdown
the
pass.
draft that were
Quite
hilarious.
how to figure it
Like
out.
Long War.
I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's
right. That's as high as you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on
Abdullah
that pace.
Abdullah.
I don't like how it's calm. I don't like the way he runs.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of
Here,
giant
this will be a
explosive
touchback,
players
and it
here.
comes out to the 25-yard line.
I think I've only gotten him versus
last go around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start
just
thinking
can't get through the line and
going to
hit
do,
the sprint
you don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start the drive with that.
Oh, I got pancaked.
This is like 7.
There goes the Cowboys.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
My linebackers got pancaked by the tight
effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game, and any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times out of 10, and in this case, they did it really successfully.
And not much there at all.
I hate when you guess the play right when you're a linebacker. Like, you know it, you hit the hole, but you hit it too fast and it goes right by you.
He's definitely
like, son
one
of
of the better linebackers at
I got 2 free.
And flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The give is to Elliott. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 4 yards.
You would think they would get more defensive pressure.
Leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Oh, you guys let the first quarter
alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out.
I went and grabbed the Matt Nagy playbook. We've been dunking it this year.
From the shotgun, it's
ran. Oh, interception! Devontae David with the interception. Oh, pick 6. Run, David.
There he goes, right side.
Run down.
That's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
56. Don't use your big plays now.
Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football.
Okay, we're a little reaction. That's the worst that could happen.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
I read it right.
Got to feel it in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Whoops.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back
yeah,
onto
there's
the field.
Gooden will be when he plays, he's kind of like McCorkle too, because he's traded for Lamar Jackson.
Now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like
the
leaders are banging wheels.
For a long touchdown. Short-term memory, quarterback out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking
the leaders are banging wheels.
Here's his opportunity.
Oh, they're banging wheels again.
Those defensive backs for the former
What in the
DB,
fuck,
right?
man? Halfway through the race, and they don't still lead like it's the last hour.
For some reason.
Deep in there, right?
Jones got to.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, boys.
Second down throw for Prescott.
Oh, user pick. User pick. I'd never be able to do this again in the regular season.
And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Yeah, with my linebacker. I did Cody's user alert.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down
I'll never time it again right.
Firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception.
That's what was so frustrating with Vernon Hargraves. When he was a cornerback, it seemed like everything, like his awareness was like 0. It seemed like he'd have perfect coverage and they'd throw to him like, oh, he's going to pick it. And he wouldn't even do an animation and they would just throw it. But as a free safety, he's not so bad.
DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop
36 boys, we need to stop.
About 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked.
They're in cover 2,
That's
or
often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
There we go.
Oh, he got killed. Back-to-back sacks. All of a sudden, the Cowboys have turned up the heat.
Charlton In there to drop him, and sacks on first and
they wanted me to rush for 10 yards in this drive. I'll give you a hint, boys, and they happened.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively,
I love when you run a play action, and as you come out of the play action, you just see the defensive end right there. And you're just
something
like,
from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll look to throw.
3 straight sacks because I take a deep drop and the tackles just get pushed right back in.
For his second sack now
Okay. Here we go.
This is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
You hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes.
Yeah, it seems like certain times it like opens up and you can run for like 140. It just takes a bunch of carries to do it.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, and if I kept having but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Alright, third and 25.
And he'll take this forward.
Injury timeout. Oh, there it goes. Levante David.
I know that speed is a hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's a second and 7 now from their own 7.
Seconds from your legs. Get him out of there.
It's the second preseason game they played at halftime.
I'm in the fourth quarter.
Oh, maybe you don't have enough.
Out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's
Levante David, broken ribs. Lost.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is
I mean, if I survive with one 6-week injury this year, I'll be happy. Last year, I had like 3 or 4 of them.
Prescott from the gun on third, and he finds Seals Jones complete. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line.
Oh, that game just glitched hard.
Calling a gain is 7, and it gets him a new
I threw a wide receiver screen, and Emmanuel St. Brown just like caught it, and then like did a slow 360 turn, and then got leveled.
Made sure the quarterback saw
it. I got
was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Goddamn draw play everywhere.
He roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line.
Good job, Leonard.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
All right.
The Cowboys O-line just opens you like a can opener.
7 yards on first
with
down.
those middle
That
draws.
fits the bill.
Ballsy, let's go engage 8. What's the worst that could happen?
They play fake to Elliott.
Play action. Oh, it's a fumble. Good, it's a fumble. And we recover. Engage 8, fumble. Monson Dia. Get your ass back in there. Dak's going to regress after this game.
When someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time
to
preseason.
Yeah, the last 3 possessions, 2 interceptions, and now a fumble.
And maybe he'll remember, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Touchdown, Abdullah.
Now a first down.
My fullback didn't even block the dude. He just ran right by him.
Losing yardage back at the 12.
Gotta go for 2. Gotta go for 2.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies
My
they
goal
brought
is
in
to
on
have
that play.
Fuller catch
Those
the
extra
touchdown.
tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
I can try stuff.
Got it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Up 3 with 3:20 to play.
Now a shotgun snap as they look to
My right tackle is just getting killed by Lawrence.
down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Got 2 sacks already.
Me and Green Bay have the same exact total offensive yards. They have 184 in the fourth quarter.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Oh, God.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Evans. And here he'll get it down to the 6. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there.
Those are like hit or miss. They're either really good or it's like blown up really bad.
Inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop.
Okay, well, he caught it
because
and
then you give him a touchdown that situation, right?
That's good. At least the guy didn't jump the route. The best is when you call a wide receiver screen, you don't even see the outside cornerback. You throw it thinking he's blocked and he's standing right there and picks you off. You're like, oh, son of a...
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief
that's in my favor.
When they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field to start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
I want the one that throws to the offensive line
with a score here, right?
I think Coach would be
you probably have a shovel pass, though.
And now taking downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
I'm always scared to call those.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Yeah, well, this is Nagy's playbook. There should be all kinds of crazy shit.
10th carry now for Elliott. Gets this to the 24 for a gain
when I have to sit down and just like go through every part of the playbook.
Yeah,
and like mark where the crazy plays are.
I'm sure it'll probably
you're able to do so
take
many
me
things
this whole
anyway.
season.
You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball
Yeah,
around, or you can decide to throw the ball now.
Well, I was running a lot of single back stuff prior with double tight ends. And the Eagles playbook just has more.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. And a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
There we go. 23-17, 2 minutes left.
And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for the second quarter. But I would imagine we will not see him after halftime. Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Oh, that's another fucking running play. Oh, it's a zone read with a minute.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This will be fielded at the 17.
I knew that was coming, George.
When it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
All right, Hawkinson, don't die on this drive and get the hell out of here.
That's your rookie quarterback you drafted the other year, right?
Yeah, last year. That probably would have won Rookie of the Year if Cody hadn't had his rookie quarterback run all those things.
But they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
So Brett got a pretty good quarterback this year. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, 81 overall rookie.
That's not bad.
That's going to help him in contract time.
I wonder if he puts his scheme in. That'll be big.
I don't know if that'd help him in contract
big if he
time.
doesn't.
You could have kicked that one through.
Fit his scheme right. And look at the right amount of XP and all that shit.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
A lot more on it.
They'll set up a throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got it complete.
I think the coaches got it the same way.
Out near the 40 to the 39. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I guess it's one of those things where do you change the scheme to match the quarterback or match what the majority of the team is?
But in this situation, the defense was effective. Able to stop
Go Sony.
Get a good head of
Sony Michelle.
And he'll be brought down.
Every time I see his name, all they're going to think of is Dodgeball.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run. Sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Probably getting sacked.
Out of the the gun. They'll look to throw.
I don't have very good offensive line.
Incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and 5. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now.
Oh, my God, Lawrence just gets off the ball so quickly.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
Knee cartilage tear. Ooh, that's not
Getting
good.
set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And
yeah,
a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best torch, you've got to lather them up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now.
All right, about time for the best part of this preseason, scrubs.
So we've hit half. We now proceed to the start of the second half.
That's a pretty good idea.
Expect to see a good number
My problem
of
is I get
backups
attached to
going
people during the
forward as we are
preseason.
back
Like, I don't want to cut
underway
you.
here in preseason week 2.
But I never feel like the right guys go in the game, and I always have to go through the depth chart every time.
Yeah.
Oh, like I really don't need Eli Rogers in the game. I already know where he's going to be at. But apparently I don't have any other wide receivers to put in. No, I don't need my 2 halfbacks going back out there. If I go 5 wide, I have problems. I don't know if I like McCoy or Matson better.
I tried a fake kicker field pass.
Nice.
I was up 4, so I figured, fuck it, it's preseason. Special teams got to practice too.
Why? No, McCoy is not my second best left end here. That's not stupid. The guy shouldn't be on the field right now. I need you for the regular season, my friend. Koopa Troopa.
Oh my god, the tip drill scares the shit out of me.
Yes, yes it would. McCourty doesn't need to be in the game. Definitely want him in and him in.
Game over. Jets win 23-17.
Alright, start the second half right.
Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
Oh my god.
This first half that we've had guys be prepared for some change-up.
Put my white boy Rick in.
Darnold had a 27.8 QB rating. Okay. Not making a good case for yourself there, buddy.
There we go. Brody Knight.
Double K.
We're going to see him when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Rushing
So from the
wise.
39 now, they'll come up on a
Alex
first and
Collins,
10.
7 attempts, -5 yards.
Always fun.
Abdullah, 11 attempts, 51 yards.
No, check, Patriot!
Okay.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Hey, did you have one of
You'll
those
be happy to know that I have your current
coach. Or pits like you have for high jumpers, and you know you had your friends
trying to
make the spectacular catches.
I didn't need a mat.
you just did it with the ground.
I won the Super Bowl with Dirk Cutter and that card.
Explained your toughness right there, because I think that guy was raised just like you. What a catch.
Run him over, absolutely.
And brought down, but not before
I wish he was. I didn't have the other 2 guys in front of him. I'd run more for it. He just runs people over.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Yeah.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down.
Oh, Jason Pierre-Paul is their backup, right? That's
Jason
not fair.
Pierre-Paul.
I'm going to get fucking worked on
there
that
to
side
get
of
him
the field
the
because of the
6th
guy.
time they've sacked him tonight.
I've been sacked 6 times.
It's been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
My dog did.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. They'll check this one down to Michelle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
60.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to it. It's nice because it's a lot slower. Like, it matters more on drafting a good guy and using him right and all that shit.
Yeah, you can't just
pick a guy because
pick a guy because you know he's like a 64 overall and play quarterback
right.
100,000 XP and then
you
go from a 64 to an 85.
Yeah, they just I read something about how they do so the way they jump up in like development is depending on where they finish. Like at the end of the year, like if you have a quarterback and he finishes like top 3 in yards, he'll jump up. But if he doesn't, like if he is like bottom, like whatever, then he drops. So it's got to be consistent stuff.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! In for the score, and the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me, very precise. Methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
It seemed like last year everything was 6 weeks.
That sounds bad.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that
I would like to know what his
scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming up?
Oh, no.
Picked off around the 27, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
It
was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down.
2 carries. We'll get you 2 carries, my friend.
And they'll run it here. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Oh my God,
he can run for it, and he will. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, but things are going right. They are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Here we go now. Yeah, we can go get 3.
They'll set up to throw.
Oh,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board. And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now let's go! Looking to throw. Hoffman. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down. Let him get the 1st down. That's exactly what he did. Escapes the sand. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up. His time is now run out. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. Hurry up, here we go. Back to the air on 2nd down. Hoffman. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver.
I got like really lucky in the draft and found like a star free safety, but he doesn't match my scheme.
On 1st and 10, Hoffman. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's brought down. A nice little juke move that preceded it, but not much thereafter. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right? And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out.
It's like 40 degrees
that
today.
First down completion only netted
it'll be
3. 2nd and 7.
It'll be like 50 degrees tomorrow.
Operating from the gun.
Oh my God.
Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good
it's an 80-degree
there,
difference from the previous shit you're in.
Jesus Christ.
Gotta love it.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
From the gun, Hoffman. And a tip there altered
Where's
the
he
ball
from?
flight, and it
Here.
falls incomplete. It'll
Does
be
she know where
second
Flossmore
down.
is?
Flossmore.
Another wayward
But he's
pass.
in
Things
Virginia.
started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does
What are you talking about?
is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going
grew up in
on.
Flossmore.
They just play better and better.
Flossmore, Chicago Heights, Homewood, that
An
area.
incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd
Well,
and
it's tough
10.
to hang out when he's in Virginia or Texas or.
Here we go now. Green 39.
I'll be up in May. I'll be up there for a wedding right across the border.
And he finds a man
Big
on the
Goose
crossing
Bears.
route.
You've never met
And
him.
he's
I've never
taken
physically
down,
met
but
him.
not before reaching the 10-yard
He looks so
line.
confused.
That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any
You're
defender
a
can step
Schaumburg,
up and fill it.
No,
They
I'm
did it
one.
well there.
by the
Perfectly
way,
executed crossing route.
Oh, shit.
Green 39.
Kyle's
Try and run. This is Williams. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run.
Local feed or
That's a gain
whatever.
of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass
About
ball
like that,
on this
maybe
drive.
25
Maybe
minutes
able to
away.
revert and fire out and create some space
Are you
in the
closer
run
to
game.
Joliet side or closer to Mokina side?
Joliet.
Okay.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Williams will try again. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
35 and we go
Encroachment
from
defense.
the
I mean, my buddy just invited me to go play Fortnite. So I'm looking forward to the chat
I
with
know
him.
it's an
That was
anticipation
a good
game for
time.
them,
We'll see you
but it's
later.
also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
The penalty gets them half the distance closer, but they'll still need to come up with something on 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw. Hoffman.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one. Goes for 36 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Looking to throw. Meadows over the middle. It's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
And they'll go on the ground. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Come on, let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The Bucks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Catanzero's kick is right through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass.
All right, here we go.
To throw again. Hoffman. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Back to throw. Hoffman. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
All right, here we go.
On first down, Hoffman. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Here we go now.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hoffman. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? they're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. On the ground, this is Michel. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there, and it'll be 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hoffman toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Damian Williams, the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd and short.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Hoffman. And that is incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Throw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that, plus 3.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Meadows. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.